Hey guys, it's Kathy. Hope you're doing well. I really do. I do hope you're doing well. So, today I have the aftermath of a Karen. She was a Karen. We didn't capture that. But now she's in front of a judge and she's trying to get what she wants, which of course is released. um, we also have a trial of a bad neighbor. Like, you think your neighbor's bad. Whew, whew. Nope, they're not. I don't know. My neighbors are pretty bad. And then I'm sure you guys all saw um, the quick clip of the judge that was attacked yesterday, the day before yesterday. I don't know. My days smushed together. I got that, and I also looked up some law on what's going to happen to this person. So let's start with the Karen. Let's always start with the Karen.
Good morning, Ms. Miller-Shosky. So I see you're back. And in one case, there's not a case that's been filed, but you've got an affidavit supplied by law enforcement at the Pratt County Police Department claiming that they were trying to serve some warrants from other counties at Walmart on December 22nd, and you resisted arrest and headbutted officers, kicked officers, and that there are some possible criminal charges that you could be facing from that. You also, on case number 2023 CR 50 and 2023 CR 3025, we have status hearings on those, and in one case you're facing a motion to revoke your probation. Now, I want to ask Ms. Beverlin where we are on the affidavit.
Judge, I had drafted that complaint and I wanted to watch the body cam before I filed it. And I was looking on that Friday before we left for the weekend.
We all want to see the body cam.
Should, I don't have that already in Dropbox. It should be here pretty soon. So I can probably have the complaint done by the end of the week.
Okay, and is the motion to revoke the probation on the 3025 case?
No, that's on the 50 case.
Sorry, on the 50 case.
The 3025 case is the burglary.
I meant to say 50, but I was looking at I was looking at 50 and just said the wrong one.
Understandable.
Ms. Miller-Shosky, so do you understand what you're here facing?
I understand I'm facing a lot of charges. I am going to get myself a lawyer. That is my plan. And I am going to ask for a bond reduction so I can be out to get a lawyer. So I'm hoping for an OR bond. I do have two other cases that I'm working on that I'm going to have to go serve time for them if I do get an OR bond. So I'm going to have to try and push everything out until I do get a lawyer and get everything working. But so I'm asking for an OR bond.
Okay, and well, you've said that in previous appearances that you were going to retain an attorney, and you were out when this latest affidavit was filed, and you still haven't gotten an attorney. Do I need to appoint you one until you can try to retain somebody on your own? Because it seems like you're having a hard time getting the resources together to retain an attorney.
I don't think you need to appoint me one. I plan on selling a couple personal things. And I have a lot that I've been going through trying to get to get one. And there's a treatment facility that I'm looking at going to that I got a bed date for. It's one of the best ones in the state. And I'm hoping to go there if I can have my court dates pushed off and go there and get treatment. And I believe a letter was wrote to you guys also. And But I don't think you need to appoint one to me. I'm planning on selling some personal things. That way I can get one hired.
All right, and I'm interested, when and where is your bed date?
It is at Bel Air and it is as soon as possible.
Okay, but you don't have a date set?
Well, I had a date, it was the 2nd. I was supposed to go the day that I got arrested.
Okay, so the 22nd.
Yes.
Okay, and Ms. Beverland, do you have a position on Ms. Miller-Shosky's request for an OR bond?
Judge, I oppose an OR bond. She was on an OR bond for the burglary case. And then the warrants came out because she was also on felony probation out of Barton County and it's out of Stafford or it's Bryce County. I think it's Stafford. It was for the methamphetamine Senate bill case out of Barton County. The Barton County attorneys reached out to me and we've discussed. I believe he's asking for the imposition of her sentence in that case. I think it's the second PB violation for her. On the Stafford Rice County case, I don't know the status, but I know that there's a pending hold on that. Those were three convictions for battery against an LEO. She's also on probation in this case already. The way I look at it, she's had 3 different counties probation officers trying to get her to treatment, help her, get her the mental health. And here we are with additional cases, additional batteries against the LEOs. I think bond is appropriate the way it's set based upon her behavior, the violent actions to law enforcement when they're just executing warrants from out of county on felony probations that she's already on. We can probably get her set up with a drug and alcohol evaluation. I don't have any knowledge of a treatment facility in Bel Air. If it's a private facility, I don't know anything about it. I can look that up.
It would mean a lot to me if I was able to go there. And the arresting officer, the incident there, that is a big deal.
All right, hold on. I don't think, I will come back to you, but I don't think Ms. Beverland, we're gonna talk one at a time, okay?
But I feel like it's a public safety issue at this point because of her violent behavior, because she's been under supervision in 3 counties, and we're here on 2 new cases, a motion to revoke on the probation she was already on in Pratt County. She's had a lot of people trying to help her for years now. I think 2021 was the first felony case in a different county, and since then, she's been through the system. I think it comes to a point where she either wants to help or she doesn't. And I think bond is more than appropriate based on her actions and the supervision she's already been on.
What's the current bond?
On the affidavit, I believe it was $50,000. And she had an OR from this court on the other 2 cases that are pending.
Okay. Ms. Miller-Shosky, would you like to respond to that?
Yes, I am willing for the help. I need the help. There's no way that I can make the bond with its being set that high. I need all of my money to go towards my doctor or to go towards my attorney. I would love to get my bed date, so I'm asking you guys to work with me. I'm not going to try to run. I promise I will be able to check in, and I will work with you guys. Like I said, I know there's a lot that I'm facing. That's why I need to get an attorney. I need to get out so I can do all of these things that are coming one at a time. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would grant it for me.
Okay, well, I've already granted you an OR bond, and you are accused of attacking law enforcement officers while they were trying to just serve warrants that weren't even here. They were just serving warrants that they were being asked to serve by other counties. If I do give you an OR bond, you're not getting out. You're going to either Barton or Stafford County to probably serve a sentence. And this is, as I understand it, Pratt is your home, or that's the place that you've been living, and that's the place you have family. Am I correct about that?
Stafford's my home. I've been in Pratt though.
Okay, so what I will do, and I'm going to tell you, you usually get one chance in an OR bond from me, and then you're back in jail. So I'm not going to give you an OR bond, but I will modify your bond to $10,000 cash or surety. And if you're having trouble hiring an attorney, you can always ask the court to appoint you one and get an attorney that way. But otherwise, that's as low as I'm willing to go on the bond. And then I'm going to set you for your next court hearing on January 10th, which is next Wednesday. I want to check back with you as soon as possible, see if you've made bond and see where you are on that. And so we'll set that for 11 in the morning. Do you have any other questions?
Can I just tell you that I probably will not have made bond by then, and I don't think anything will have gotten moved forward by then. So hopefully then maybe you can give me an OR bond and I can go serve my sentences and then get an attorney.
Okay. And like I said, if you want an attorney, I can always appoint you one, and I would appoint you a really good one. So yeah, that's just I'm at this point I'm worried about the safety of our law enforcement officers with you being out on bond, and I've given you an OR bond and you didn't do what you were supposed to do then. So I don't have any confidence that you would do what you're supposed to do if I gave it to you again.
Well, if it goes to show anything, the 10th is my birthday, so that must be a sign.
Okay, well, then we'll see you back on your birthday.
All right, hopefully we can get an OR bond then.
January
No, you can't.
10th. And we will see you at 11 o'clock on January 10th. If you change your mind and want an attorney appointed, we can always do that, or you can always use the telephone there to try to make arrangements to get your other, to hire your own attorney. But you should try to have something done by next week.
It's not possible for me to get anything done in here. It's hard to use the telephone in here. It costs a lot of money, and I need to be out to sell my truck so I can get it. It's hard to use the telephone, so I
know you have strong family support because they wrote a letter of support for you. So that's as low as I'm willing to go on the bond. I'm telling you that right now. So thank you very much. Thank you.
She still thinks she's going to get an OR bond on January 10th on her birthday. I know it. She's not taking no for an answer. She doesn't understand what no means. And I wish I had that body cam when she was arrested. That would be nice. But we just don't have it. Maybe if we catch her court, her actual trial, whenever that might be, we'll get the body cam. Something to look forward to. All right, you guys probably saw this next one. It's real short. It's like a minute long. However, it's very graphic. So, if you skip forward a minute and 31 seconds from when I start playing it, if you don't want to see it, a judge was attacked. I can't remember where. I'm sure it'll say. But here, let's just play it. Skip forward if you don't want to see it. Wrong one. There we go. Las Vegas.
Get off her! Get off her! Oh man! You're good, stop! Hey, can you radio somebody? Give me all the on! Radio somebody!
Oh, Shane, baby. Shane's like a hospital.
Oh my gosh, dude.
No.
They're bringing them that way. She hit her head, bro. Yeah. She hit her head. She hit her head. Hard.
Yeah, that alarm did take a while to go off. So, I went on Cornell's website, Cornell Law School, because they know what they're talking about. And it's this code right here, I think, that treats this. So I know it says by family member, um, but it also says right in B, a United States judge. Now, this might just be for federal judges and not for state judges. So I don't know if it's the same, but if you assault a United States judge, then you get a fine, and it doesn't say what the fine should be. So I don't know. Um, so it's not a simple assault. I think it's bodily injury. So I think it's 20 years. However, it could also be the next one, 30 years. But I don't know if he had a dangerous weapon. So it's probably going to be 20 years. He's probably going to get 20 years plus the sentence he was being handed down for attempted battery. But yeah, he's going to be in Vegas jail for a while. He's a bad gambler. Bad gambler. I hope it does, Raven. I really do hope it's the 30 years. I mean, you can't even walk up to a judge. You can't even approach the judge without, begging. So, yeah, I hope it's the 30 years. All right, guys. Now we're going to go to a neighbor, like we all have. But this neighbor likes knives. He's crazy. Here we go. He's muted, so it takes a sec there.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
There we go.
Yes, now. Thank you. State your name, sir.
My name is Michael Anthony Shiverton.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the evidence you're hearing in this matter. Mr. Lamon.
Your Honor, this is a termination action based upon alleged violations of community rules at Maple Leaf Gardens. It is alleged that Mr. Shiverton has on multiple occasions interfered with the quiet enjoyment of not only other residents in the community, but also their guests. We're prepared today to present not only the property manager, Randy Conway, but also two women who have been, for want of a better phrase, victimized by Mr. Shiverton. Mary Wood, who is a neighbor who has called the police on Mr. Shiverton on multiple occasions, including one in which Mr. Shiverton was brandishing a butcher knife in plain sight, and also a friend of Ms. Wood's who has witnessed that conduct as well. The statute provides that a manufactured home park resident tenancy may be terminated for violation of community rules that interferes with the enjoyment, quiet enjoyment of other tenants. So we're prepared to present Ms. Conway, who will testify as to the terms of the lease, and then the other young ladies will testify as to the specific incidents which have led rise to the issuance of the 30-day notice on October 9th of 2023.
Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, do you have all documents and witnesses you need to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff calls Randy Conway.
Ms. Conway, you're going to stop at this podium first. Please state your first and last name and then spell them both for the record.
Brandy Conway, BRANDYCONWAY.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Come have a seat in this black chair that's closest to me, please. Mary Ann, my secretary, is recording your testimony. If she's unable to hear you, I'll ask you to raise your voice or scoot closer to the microphone. And the answers are yes, no, not not head shakes, because it's not going to be picked up, okay? Mr. Lamon.
Ms. Conway, are you employed?
Yes,
Where are you employed?
at Maple Leaf Gardens.
In what
North.
capacity?
I'm the general manager.
In the course and scope of your employment as general manager, have you become familiar with an individual named Michael Shiverton?
Yes, I have.
Is he currently a tenant at Maple Leaf Gardens, manufactured home community?
Yes,
And it's Maple Leaf Gardens South, is that correct?
that's correct.
There's also a Maple Leaf Gardens North. Mr. Shiverton is a tenant having signed a lease, is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as plaintiff's proposed exhibit 1, the efforts witness report.
Yes.
And ask if you can identify it.
Yes, this is the lease Michael Shiverton has signed with us.
Is that lease maintained in the ordinary course of business at Maple Leaf Gardens South?
Yes.
How is it maintained?
Well, you know, with the rules and the lease itself, we make sure that the residents are abiding by the lease and the rules of the community.
Is the lease itself kept in a file?
Yes, it is.
Does each tenant have their own file at Maple Leaf Gardens South?
Yes, they do.
And what other items are maintained in the file?
There's violations, there's things of that nature. There's all of the lease documents that they sign are also included in that file at the office.
Is payment history also maintained there?
No, that is maintained inside of our system in Rent Manager.
All right. So Mr. Shiverton's lease is maintained and available daily.
Yes, that's correct.
And the rules and regulations are also available daily.
Yes,
And in fact, Mr. Shiverton, did he sign this particular lease personally, or did he e-sign it?
no, he was in person when he signed it.
Okay. And he approved the community rules as well as the lease itself?
Yes, he did.
Your Honor, subject to any voir dire on the part of the defendant, plaintiff moves for the admission of Exhibit 1.
Any objection, Mr. Shiverton?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. It's received.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
To provide the copy of the exhibit?
Thank you.
Ms. Conway, I'm going to call your attention to the rules and regulations. I believe they're 16 pages in length. I think the first 11 pages are the terms of the lease, and then we get to the rules and regulations. And I'd like you to refer to the bottom of page 2 and the top of page 3 of the rules and regulations. Can you track that down for me?
Yes.
Have you found it?
Yes, sorry.
And there's paragraph 4 under the rules and regulations, which relate to tenant conduct. And I'd like you to, if you would, read into the record paragraph 4A and 4B.
Tenants are responsible for their own conduct as well as their guests. Tenants and guests shall conduct themselves in a fashion that ensures the comfort, peace of mind, and quiet enjoyment to others. Tenants and guests shall comply with federal, state laws, local government ordinances, and these rules and regulations. This includes compliance with any state or local curfew regulations.
And then B relates to noise. Would you read that into the record as well?
Noise or unruly behavior that disrupts the peaceful enjoyment of others is prohibited. Such disturbances include, but are not limited to, loud stereo, TV, radio, and vehicle noises. This policy is always in effect.
And there's also, further down to page 3, there's a specific section devoted to weapons. Are weapons permitted at Maple Leaf Gardens South?
No, they are not.
And there's a big list of weapons, and I don't need you to read it into the record, but are knives included as a weapon that is not permitted?
Yes, they are.
Now, did there come a point in time where you received complaints from one or more residents concerning Mr. Shiverton's conduct?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many occasions? Don't guess, but if you can give me a reasonable, whatever you recall.
That I can think of off the top of my head, I would say there's been about 5 occasions within a very short time.
And what was that time frame?
Within a 2-month time frame.
Within a 2-month time period?
Yes.
And do you remember the 2 months?
I can't be very specific on it.
All right. There came a point in time, however, where you requested that our office issue what's called a 30-day notice under MCL section 600.5714E. Did you make that request of our office?
Yes, I did.
And it was issued on October 9th. So is it fair to state that that 2-month time period somehow either backed up to or included October 9th?
Yeah, I that's what I was thinking. It was within that time frame. Excuse me. It was within that time frame. That's why I had asked if we could file this 30-day.
And in fact, you did receive a formal written complaint from at least from a resident directly complaining about Mr. Shiverton. Is that
Yes,
true?
I did.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Wood about that particular email because she was the one that issued, but you recall receiving it.
Yes, I do.
Was that the trigger that then resulted in your requesting that our office take action?
Yes, it was.
And you approved that on behalf of Maple Leaf Garden South?
Yes, I did.
And you do wish, as of today, to have Mr. Shiverton evicted?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions of Ms. Conway.
Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, do you have any questions for Ms. Conway?
Miss Conway is who, ma'am?
The general manager of Maple Leaf.
Do I have any questions for her? Yes, I do. My first
Proceed.
question is, why in America would you not think that I'm going to encounter this being the only Black man on the street and around a bunch of women that are white women? Like, how is it because it's hearsay, and I have people who have cell phones.
Mr. Shiverton?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm interrupting you because you have a right to ask a question, but it sounds like you're testifying. Do you have questions for Ms. Conway?
Yes, I do. Ms. Conway, do you believe that this is in any way racially motivated?
Do you believe that this is racially motivated?
I do not.
May I ask why? Looking at the color of my skin?
I don't think the skin color played any part of it. We've received complaints from multiple residents.
About what, ma'am?
Nobody has ever mentioned the color of your skin.
Why would they mention it? You think they're gonna admit that they're racist, ma'am? Is it safe to say that of course they're not gonna admit it, they're just gonna make it like I'm some bad human being? Because I have not, okay, my question is this.
Thank you.
My question is this. Have I committed any crimes out here? I would like a yes or no answer.
Absolutely, yes.
I'll object, Your Honor, only in terms of, I think the witness can
I thought I could ask a question.
She's not a police officer.
I thought I could ask a question, though. May I ask a question?
You can ask, sir, you can ask questions, but the attorney has a right to object to it. He's objected
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
question. Do you have any response to his objection?
Yes, I have a response to that. I'm not surprised you're objecting. That's my response. I'm not surprised, ma'am, about that. I didn't
The
expect.
objection is sustained. Your next question, Mr. Shiverton.
How long is, if I was found to be evicted in this situation legally, and this is for Miss Conway, legally, how long do you have to give me throughout the law to be able to move and by law?
Your Honor, I'll object in that it calls for a legal conclusion. Ms. Conway can certainly answer the question if she knows.
I
I'm
do
sure
not
she's
know.
been
I
through this
don't.
before.
Did you hear the objection, Mr. Shiverton?
Yes, ma'am. May I respond,
You have a
please?
response to the object? Absolutely.
My response is that I'm sure she's been through this before. Why does she not know the answer to that question?
That was almost a good response, kind of.
The objection
sort of.
was that it was calling for a legal conclusion. Do you have a response to Mr. Lammon's objection?
She's been through this
Yes.
before.
Concerning, let's just say that I was found to where I was evicted. How long would I legally have to access another home and sell my trailer? How long would I have?
Mr. Shiverton, I suggest that you did not hear Mr. Lammon's objection. His objection was that it called for a legal conclusion. As a matter of information, there is a minimum of 10 days required from judgment to application for writ, if that answers your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No further questions for her, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor, but if I may, if Mr. Shiverton owns his home, I believe that he would also be entitled to 90 days to move or sell the home.
Correct.
Thank you, sir, for
Thank
that.
you.
That gives me, thank you for answering that. Thank you very much.
And I have no redirect of this comment.
Thank you. Ms. Conway, you may step down. Mr. Lamon, I'm going to pass you for just one moment. There are some other matters, Mr. Lamon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff calls Mary Wood.
Ms. Wood, state your first and last name is spelled in bold for the record, please.
Mary Catherine Wood, Mary Kathryn Wood.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Please come have a seat in this black chair that's closest to me. Give me 1 second, Mr. Lamon. I'm gonna try to clean this.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Even though we've done this now 3 times, there are people who still don't connect their audio. Miss Ellison, I did not get a response. Their unnamed people would not connect their audio. We will deem Ms. Faluco to have failed to appear this afternoon. How would you like to proceed, ma'am?
Your Honor, this time I would proceed and ask the court for a default judgment. This is the 3rd hearing, Your Honor.
Rent or retain possession?
Ms. Wood, where do you live?
I live at 6003 Winchester. That's Maple Leaves South in Van Buren Township.
And I believe that the notice, the 30-day notice terminating tenancy was sent to Mr. Shiverton at 6011 Winchester. Where is 6011 Winchester in relation to your home?
It is the home directly south of mine.
So it's next door.
Correct.
How long have you resided at 6003?
It'll be 3 years in July.
How long
I'm
has
sorry,
Mr. Shiverton?
4 years.
How long has Mr. Shiverton been your neighbor?
I believe he's been there about a year or so less than I have.
And you did not form any preconceptions about Mr. Shiverton based on the color of his skin when he moved in, correct?
Absolutely not.
Now, during the course of your tenancy or your coexistent tenancy with Mr. Shiverton, have you made any complaints to the community office about his conduct?
Almost every day, yes.
Your Honor, I have a couple of exhibits that are sitting waiting to be marked.
I also have about 100 more videos in my phone.
All right, well, I don't think we need to show.
Mr. Lamon.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what happened to Heather?
I wanted to see some of those videos. Excuse me.
Oh.
On those occasions where you have made complaints, were they all in writing?
At first, they were in, by phone. It was becoming so habitual that Brandy asked me to start putting them in writing so that we could start forming a case here, because this has been going on for a very long time, 2 years.
And you also advocated to call the police on Mr. Sugar.
Yes, and it's to the point where, you know, nothing ever happens because he outsmarts them. So he will antagonize me and antagonize for hours, berating me outside, yelling and screaming. And then when I finally get to the point where I call the police, he can see from both directions and he sees them coming down the street and he turns off all the lights, goes in his house, and the police can never make contact. And then they leave and he comes right back outside.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as proposed exhibit 3. And ask, and I want to, don't read it. All right, I just want to know if you recognize. And I realize that the print is very, very small, and I'll take the responsibility for
yes,
that.
Yes, this is correct.
All right, and what is that document?
This is a document that is typical of what I would send every day. Just the incident that had occurred, what time, exactly what happened.
All right, I don't want you to read it yet. Did you write this document?
I don't understand how I can say I wrote it if I can't read it.
Well, I don't want you to, I want to find out what your recollection is of certain incidents without your referring to the document. You may have to refresh your recollection.
Yes, I just read the very first sentence, and I am familiar. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And you generated this and sent it to Brandy?
Correct.
Right. And it appears to bear a date of October 2nd, Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Is that correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, subject to any voir dire on the part of Mr. Shiverton, we move to the admission of plaintiff's exhibit 3.
Any objection, Mr. Shiverton?
As far as objection, do you mean any objection to what I just heard?
To the court receiving the document, sir.
Not at all.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Now, again, before you refer to the document, this particular exhibit lists several incidents of conduct on the part of Mr. Shiverton. I'm going to ask whether you have independent recollection as we sit here today, several months later.
Sure.
All right. The first date that you make a complaint about is Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Do you remember specifically what happened on that date? What his conduct was? Or would you need to refer to the exhibit?
Sir, I apologize, but this goes on almost every single day. So that specific day, I can't recall the exact nature of the incident.
I understand it might blend together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask, similarly, you don't remember specifically what occurred on September 23rd.
If that is the day that he was brandishing the knife outside, I was at home. I had my friend Ashley over. We were doing each other's hair, dyeing each other's hair, and Michael immediately saw my friend over and decided to start annoying us, basically, and becoming obnoxious and just, you know, yelling and screaming, and, you know, and then all of a sudden he's dressed up, you know, telling us that he's a thug and thug life and all this stuff. And then he's got the knife, and it's, you know, he's just, it's scary because I don't know the drugs he's on, the alcohol. I don't know when he's going to snap, if he's going to snap. I don't know how to encounter him. And so if it's the day, then that's what.
All right. Well, I'm not going to, we'll come back to the exhibit for a moment.
Okay.
When you saw Mr. Shiverton with the night, did you take a picture?
I did. I took video and picture.
And this was a picture on your phone?
Correct, and that's part of the video.
Right. I'm going to show you what's been marked as plan proposed exhibit 2 and ask if you can identify it.
Yes, that is my neighbor, Michael.
All right, and is that the picture that you took with your phone?
It was actually a video, but I screenshot this to create a picture, a still picture.
You were the source of it.
Correct.
All right. Your Honor, plaintiff moves for the admission of exhibit 2, subject to any word here on the part of the defendant.
Mr. Shiverton, any objection? Mr. Lamon, it'll be received.
No, I don't think they. When I was looking at it.
Thank you.
We were drinking fish.
Now, let's go back, if I can, to exhibit 3, Ms. Wood. I'm going to let you go ahead and read the exhibit, if you would. I'm going to ask if that refreshes your recollection about the events of these various days, September 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, and October 1st. And then a couple of incidents on October 1st.
Yes, this was the most appalling situation that I've had to encounter with him.
Does it refresh your recollection as far as?
Oh, yes.
Is it typical for Mr. Shiverton to curse at you?
Very much so.
Has he ever yelled at you and called you racist?
Again, almost every day.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, have you engaged in any kind of conduct or activity that would support that contention?
Yes, she did.
I don't see how. I work 3 jobs, so I just look.
Am I in the right courtroom?
And you have referenced a couple of times in Exhibit 3 where he indicated that he claimed that he was going to butcher you. Has he
Correct.
threatened you with that type of language on multiple occasions?
Yes, that is one line that has been used many times.
Have there been other threats against your life?
You know, yes, but I couldn't give you an exact date or time on those. I would have to, I have everything on my phone where it's on video, so I'd have to show you that, but I couldn't tell you the exact dates or times and all that. Like this, again, this has been going on for a very long time, but it's just this short window that you guys are hearing about.
All right. Your Honor, I do not have any further questions in this one.
Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, do you have any questions for Ms. Wood? You're muted, Mr. Shiverton.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions for Ms. Wood?
Now, Ms. Wood, have you ever called me a Nigger?
I do not recall.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not. But Mr. Shiverton.
Hold on. No, there's no question. You said no. Mr. Shiverton,
You didn't say
if you
no.
have questions, if you have questions for her, ask her questions. You'll be sworn in if you want to give testimony, okay?
I'm not giving testimony. I'm asking her a question. Mary, have you ever called me personally an N-word? That's a question.
I do not
It's been
recall.
asked and answered at this point.
Okay, well, so you don't, well, here's another question. How could you not remember if you called someone a Nigger? How could you not remember that?
Well, because I was probably in a state of complete fear and just exhaustion from dealing with being berated and harassed for hours and hours on end without saying a word to you. And then Yeah, if I snapped, it may have been, and I don't remember because the anger was so strong.
Here's
Because I
another
have tried to deal with you.
Have you ever physically put your hands on me? You have to answer. You're on.
Yes, I have.
You have physically ran up on me, scratched me, and clawed me, and tried to get me to hit you back.
No.
So
I tried to remove your animal from your home.
You have put your hands on me.
Not take care of it because you have no job or nothing all day.
Ma'am,
Out of my job.
you understand, every time you start, no, you're not, because you keep doing it. Every time you talk, it makes his audio cut off.
Oh.
You don't see, okay. Mr. Shiverton, your question, sir.
My question, Mary, have you ever physically put your hands on me?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Have you sent one of your friends? Did you have a physical man friend of yours come fight me and try to beat me up?
I do not know anything about that.
So your male friend
witness or see anything. I really have no idea what that is in regard to.
But you do remember when your friend tried to steal my cat? Do you remember that when your friend was like,
I was not home at that time.
You were there. You understand?
I was not there.
So how would I be encountering
I was not there. I had left my house. I was not there at that time.
Okay. I just got to do questions. Okay. So we'll accept that as your answer. But you are on the stand and you have said that you were going to tell the truth. And I was there, and these are lies. So I'm going to.
Mr. Shiverton, respectfully, I'm asking you to ask questions because there's some other people who have been waiting since 1 o'clock as well. So if you have questions for her, I will take them.
Yes, ma'am. Another question for me. Have you tried to conspire with other neighbors to have you told me that you want me kicked out a year or two ago, a long time ago? Did you tell me that personally?
Absolutely, yes, 100%, absolutely, I have, yes.
Saying that you are doing things to try to get me kicked out. You're admitting that.
You are doing them to yourself, sir.
Mary,
you are creating your own mess, and you know it.
How is that an answer, Your Honor? Is that answering the question yes or no? I just want a yes or no answer. A year ago.
Absolutely, yes.
So you said that you were going to try to do things to get me kicked out. You're admitting it.
No, I was trying to get people to put things in writing, which other neighbors would not do. I'm the only one that would put it in writing because other people are afraid of you.
No one's. Okay. My next question is, I don't have any further questions. That's all the answers I needed. No matter what
Thank
happens.
you. Any redirect, Mr. Lamon?
One question, Your Honor. I didn't hear the answer. Ms. Wood, you testified that you did put your hands on Mr. Shiverton once. What were the circumstances behind it?
No reason.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shiverton, I can't hear her if you're talking while she's talking, okay?
He's asking her why would she have an excuse to put her hands on me, and that she doesn't. You can't put your hands on me. I'm a human being.
Mr. Shiverton, what will happen is whatever you're doing is causing noise to disrupt the courtroom. I don't want to mute you because I want you to have the ability to object or respond or whatever, but you are disrupting the proceedings right now. Mr. Lamon is redirecting, so please be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
The circumstances?
Circumstances where I was mowing my grass on a Friday, and Mr. Shiverton came walking past my house, very much intoxicated, and he was bleeding, and I was taken aback. He approached me in my yard, and after exchanging words, he wiped the blood from his face onto my lawnmower. And so I'm sorry, but I did lose my cool. and I pushed him and I lost it.
So that's the September 22nd incident that is in Exhibit 3.
There was another incident as well. And that was when in the middle of the night, there were repeated strangers coming over, loud noise, yelling and screaming. And he had just taken in this kitten who was terrified. And
Why do you keep trying to say that? Now you have a kitten.
You know what a kitten tell you personally? My cat named Terrified. Excuse me, I'm not even gonna talk.
Anyways, yes, this time I tried to remove the kitten from his possession because I felt that it was in danger.
So those are the two occasions that
Correct.
you recall where you touched Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
And one of those was on your property, or
One mine, one his.
You testified that he's made threats against you. Has he come to your property and made those threats from your yard?
Technically, it's none of our yard. We rent the yard from Maple Leaf South, so there is technically, from my knowledge, no ownership of the land. So
But it's on your side of the street.
well, it's
Or your side of next door.
well, it could be either one. I mean, it could be from his yard or my yard, because essentially we share like half of his yard. Well, a small portion of his yard is also mine. So, you know, on that side where I have to go to mow is his yard also.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Wood, you may step down. Mr. Lamb, and I'm taking another opportunity to get some of these other people cleared out of here. This is 2302. Mr. Lamb, your next witness, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, ma'am. State your first and last name and then spell them both for the record, please.
Ashley Kunicki, ASHLEY, KUNYCKYJ.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Come have a seat in this black chair that's closest to me, please. Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ma'am, I'm afraid I'm going to butcher your name, but my daughter was in Greece, and there's a character in Greece named Kunicki.
Yes,
So
that's exactly correct.
that's how I'm going to remember. Ms. Kunicki, what is your address?
1026 South Dowling, Westline, Michigan.
Right, so that is not within Maple Leaf Gardens South, is that correct? Are you acquainted with Ms. Wood, who just testified?
Yes.
In what way?
We've been friends for quite a few years.
Have you ever been to her home in Maple Leaf Gardens South?
Yes.
During those visits, have you interacted at any point in time with Mr. Shiverton?
Never, he and I just witnessed him doing what he was doing. I never said anything to him.
And do you remember when those occasions occurred?
There was actually two that I was there in person. There was a few that she was on the phone with me and I heard everything in the background.
All right.
I don't know the exact month.
Let's talk about what you witnessed in person. You said you were friends with Ms. Wood. So were you at her home based upon her invitation?
Yes.
Okay. She talked about, in her testimony, about an occasion where the two of you were dyeing each other's hair.
Yes.
Were you the individual who was present?
Yes.
Okay. What did you observe at that point in time?
When I had pulled up, the gentleman next door was outside, ranting and raving, cussing. There was loud music playing. I was actually unsure whether or not to get out of my vehicle because of his behavior that I was witnessing. I had called Mary to ask her what was going on. She had told me just to kind of wait. He'll end up going back inside. So that's what I did. Then I got out and went inside.
And the next door neighbor was Mr. Shiverton?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you what has been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 2. You looked at when she took the picture.
Yes.
Were you present when that picture was taken?
Yes.
Okay. And Where was Mr. Shiverton physically at that point in time? If you
Well,
recall.
he had gone inside when I had waited in my vehicle, and when I went inside, he came out of his home again, and I heard him. Her windows were open and her door was open, and we just heard him like circling from the front to the left side of her mobile home, and then he was just pacing back and forth.
This is pacing at her home.
Her trailer and his yard and her yard are very close, so I'm not really sure about the property lines on whose, but her window was open. He was completely at her window, screaming into the window where we were at.
And do you remember what he was screaming?
Just a lot of profanity. And then when he had gone back inside, she told me to ignore it. I said, "What is going on?" She said, "Just ignore it. He does it all the time. I'm so sick of it." He ended up going back inside, and when he had come back out, I went into the kitchen to get something to drink. And I had glanced out, and that's when I had noticed he had a huge butcher knife. It's actually a lot bigger than what this picture looks. And then he started coming back to the window and started saying that he's sick of these racist bitches and he is going to chop us up. So I immediately told Mary to call 911. We locked the door, shut the windows, and waited for the police to arrive.
All right. And he was directing that not only toward her, but toward you
to
as well.
myself as well, yes.
Okay. How about the second occasion?
Mhm.
Do you have any recollection of the second
So
occasion?
this was actually the second occasion I had
Okay,
seen
what
him.
was, tell me about the first.
The first one, I had gone with my 16-year-old daughter and myself, and when we had pulled up, it was the exact same thing. We pulled up, the neighbor was outside, and he was doing the same exact thing. It looked like he was intoxicated that first time, and he was going back and forth, and he was going up and down the street, screaming and yelling, to the point where I was gonna leave and not even get out of my vehicle to go into Mary's home, because I had my daughter with me. Then he ended up going back into his home, and then that's when I went ahead and went into her house. And he continued the same behavior the whole time we were there.
Just yelling the whole time?
Yeah, just cussing, ranting and raving, saying that he's sick of everything and people are gonna pay, and he was just belligerently, it looked like he was intoxicated.
Did he call you a bitch that time around also?
Oh, he was just ranting and raving just in general, saying that these white bitches, they're gonna pay. And then
He wasn't directing it toward anybody in particular.
Oh, it was definitely directed at us. But he didn't say obviously like my name or her name. He was just saying these white bitches. And so I'm assuming it was towards us.
Okay. Did he make any specific threats toward your daughter?
No.
Did you call, or did you or Ms. Wood call 911 at that point?
Not the first occasion. The second time when he was brandishing the weapon and going up against the window and threatening to chop us up, absolutely. We shut and locked the windows and doors.
Were you present when the police arrived?
Yes, I was.
Did you make a statement to the police?
Yes, I did.
And did they attempt to question Mr. Shiverton?
Oh yeah, he was outside the whole entire time, and until the police officers pulled up, and he immediately ran into his trailer, and the cops tried to say something to him. He went to open the door. A couple of the police officers came in and spoke with us to make sure that we were okay. We heard the entire thing, and he was just refusing to come out, and there was nothing they can do. They said we had to take it to the office and make our reports with the police officers.
I have no further questions of Ms. Kanicki.
Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, do you have any questions for Ms. Kanicki?
Yes, hello.
You're muted, sir.
Okay. No, I don't know who she is.
I'm sorry, sir?
Ma'am, no, I don't have any questions. I don't even know who she is.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Shiverton? Mr. Landman has rested. Do you intend to present any witnesses other than yourself this afternoon?
No, ma'am.
Kim, would you turn that on for me, please? Can you turn that on for me, please? Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Your testimony, Mr. Shiverton.
Thank you. I've lived here for 2 years. Your Honor, I've never encountered the police. I've never been in handcuffs. I've never been put in a police car. I've I've never had a conversation with an officer.
Mr. Shiverton, I'm sorry, but whatever is in your background, it sounds like maybe a window is open or something,
Really?
or there's some noise that sounds like an echo of some sort.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir. I want to be sure that Mr. Lamon, who is sitting in a different part of the courtroom, can hear you as well.
Yes, ma'am. I have my phone on. It's saying 20%. Trying to keep it. I
I'm sorry, Mr. Shiverton, you say you've been there for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am. I've been here for 2 years. I've had the police called up multiple times, and there's never been a crime being committed. I've also had people drive past me, give Mary would, particularly, I could be a day where I'm doing nothing, drive by and keep up this narrative that I'm a person. I don't feel that I'm a bad person. I live here. She's my neighbor. I have good days and bad days, and so I have had bad days. And some of the things that she said, like if I was mad about something, I don't doubt that I will admit that I have had bad days because she's my neighbor. But she's the only person in the United States that sees me go through that, and that's because she's my neighbor, open watching me. And so, but the thing is that I live alone, ma'am. I don't have a girlfriend, so I have never had an argument with a woman in here. The few times that I have been mad,
Shocking.
I've been mad, but that, in my opinion, does not mean that you treat me bad 365 days a year. And in my opinion, in this situation, that's what's going on, is that I had a bad day one time and she never wanted to forgive me for it. But the truth is, the majority of the days I look exactly like I'm looking right now. I'm doing nothing to nobody. I've been through situations before where I've been through that at jobs, and I've in high school, I've had people that do those types of things that people. All I'm saying, I don't judge other people because I know how life is. It's ups and downs in life. I don't. She has seen me in bad moments because she's my neighbor. But I thought that's what I paid my rent for, was to be able to, if I have a bad day, to do it in the presence of my own home. I've never threatened her. She's actually hit me, and she's actually.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shiverton. You said you've never threatened her, but what?
No, I've never threatened her, but she's actually physically attacked me, which is a crime. She's actually called me racial slurs. I don't call her racial slurs because my mom is white. So I don't appreciate even to act like a mixed man could make judgments on white or black. I'm white and black. So for me to think that I would say that, everything that she's saying is hearsay. And never, if she's recording me, she's recording me, but I live at home and I'm a threat to her. She's actually gave me slurs and called me the N-word straight to my face while I'm just sitting on my phone. I live in a trailer that's aluminum, and so it's hard for me to have service. One part of my home, Your Honor, is that I have a patio. So a lot of times my phone won't work, and I'll go out on my patio while I'm playing music in my house, by the way, in my house. Not outside, not a loudspeaker, loud radio, nothing. Just on my phone, little Bluetooth speaker. And I'll kind of go out there to get some music, and she'll open the door and harass me. I've actually been harassed by this woman. I have documented it. My mother told me to document it. There's times where I wrote notes. This is May of 2023. She hadn't seen me all winter because in the winter it's dark at 5 o'clock. And so I started going out my back patio so that I don't encounter her on this side of my home. So she hadn't seen me for 5 months, and I came out to pick some weeds, and I'm picking weeds in my yard, and she comes out like, we got to get rid of him, and I want him gone. This was May. This was after not encountering me for 4 months. And it just seems like the more and more I take care of my cats, and I'm a stand-up guy, the worse and worse this girl is like. I hate his, and I don't know how else to explain it other than it just seems racially motivated to me because, again, the more and more I try to avoid her, more and more she wants to like a soap opera, wants to kick up dust and keep the narrative going. But the truth is, I, in my opinion, would have either A, went to jail if I was doing something bad, or B, because I don't, ma'am, Your Honor, how would I know she's calling the police? And so how am I magically just in the house safe and chilling when it comes? And if I'm so drunk, I'm of course not going to be moving like on point. I'm going to be slipping up. Police are going to, if I had a knife and was brandishing a knife, the police would have seen me out here with a knife because she called the police on me any chance she gets. So how in anyone's right mind can you imagine that after I've been here 2 years and in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, she really wanted to get me locked up. She really wanted me to encounter the police, the George Floyd to happen, like to see me in handcuffs. Since it never worked, she started taking it to the office. I got to get rid of him. But in all honesty, if I was doing anything around with a person who has no problem calling the police, I would have either A, went to jail, or the police would have put up on me and seen me doing something. Every time the police have come, they bash on my door with guns on them. That's the most heinous thing going on. That's scary to me because I've been stabbed 8 times. So I don't appreciate someone saying I play with knives. I don't even like knives. I got stabbed 30 times in one night. So that sounds crazy to me in itself. I don't play with knives because if I pull out a knife, someone might pull a knife. I might get stabbed. I've been through that before. It was scary. So everything she's saying to threaten a girl, man, I don't need a knife for a girl. That's crazy to me. I've never been assaulted. I've never assaulted a woman with a weapon in my life and never would. My mom raised me better than that. That's just my testimony in the situation. So I'm here to stand up for myself and give my opinion. That's it. It's just my opinion. I am a human being. I do have bad days, but that doesn't mean a person can just torture me the whole 2 years I lived here. You want to bring the bad day I had. Like, it's over. It's done with. Okay, you recorded it. It's over. Leave me alone. And she'll come and show me the recording. Look, I have you looking crazy. I just be looking at her like I'm watering my flowers right now. And so every day I'm just ready to watch someone try to make me out some monster. And I'm just like, oh, man, my mom comes here every day. Pulls up whenever she wants to. She don't call me or anything. My mom never encountered.
I'm sorry. Do you need to step outside?
Who?
Ma'am, do you need to step outside? Thank you.
And drops
Yes,
off
sir.
groceries. My own mother comes and drops off groceries every day and has never complained about my conduct. And my mom is one to check me. So I have parents, family to pull up whenever they want. And my house is in beautiful condition. It's broken in here. I've never been in an argument with anyone, anything. There's never been anything other than this going on. She just swears to God, I need to go. But in my opinion, I would at least encounter the police. I mean, this is ludicrous to me. So I know, that country is hard. I live around all women, and none of them are the color of me. So she don't understand me. I have the police called on me for listening to music, and I've had the police called on me for arguing with my kid's mother on the phone about a visit with my kid. And so, in my opinion, you'll call the police on me if I'm having a good time or a bad time. I don't have an invisible cloak to just invisibly come in and out the house. I ride a bike, see me walking. They encounter me. I've been without a job, so she encountered me and be mad at me. Like, you need to get a job, MFer, and all this stuff. I have to be looking like, how do you know how much money I got? She's told me that I don't pay for an hour.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shiverton.
I've heard
your audio, sir, your audio is not the best. I'm trying.
Well, I'm done. Your Honor.
Mr. Shiverton, I'm not trying to short circuit your testimony. I just want you to understand that I can hear you, but your audio is not consistent. You're breaking up. So I heard you say that your neighbor said something to you about working or getting a job, and then after that is where I lost you. Okay. Was there something else you wanted to say, sir?
Only if you could hear me that she's insulted me 90,000 different times, and it just comes off me like that's something my girlfriend was mad And it's just, I'm like, I'm not your boyfriend, I'm your neighbor. You don't know what I do and how much money I got or my rent if I need it. It just comes off very nosy and very controlling. And that's what I gotta say. She's nosy and controlling. And she cry and get me kicked out of my house. This is my home. I have 6 kids. Has time to do this. I'd be worried about my birthday, Christmas presents for my kid and things that are real life things, paying my rent and stuff. I think she has time to engage in this type of thing. So I'm sorry, I'm done.
Thank you. Mr. Lamon.
Your Honor, I had some hearing issues with interference as well, but I'm going to blame that on the fact that I'm old. Mr. Shiverton, you said you had 6 children?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever apply to have those children be approved as authorized occupants in your home?
No.
Okay, in fact, you do remember signing your lease, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's nobody listed as an authorized occupant on the first page of the lease. That's why I was asking you. And you remember the rules and regulations as well?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Shiverton, I've got in front of me 6 police reports, and I can give you the dates of when the police were at your residence. If you want me to, do you agree that the police have been to your home a number of times?
You said 6. Yes, in 2 years, 6.
Okay. And actually, it wasn't within 2 years. It was within a span of 6 months. And 5 of them were within a span of 2 weeks in spring and fall of 2023. Do you remember the police coming to your home?
There were times when I looked out my window. I can't say I remember 6 times, but I do remember looking out my window and seeing officers in my yard outside.
Were there occasions where you then went into your home and wouldn't talk to the officers?
No, sir. I wouldn't even know if the officers were pulling up.
All right. So it's your testimony that every time the officers came to your door, you talked to them?
Oh, no. I've only encountered the police on 2 or 3 occasions when I looked out, I heard hanging on my door, so I was wondering what was going on, and I looked and seen him. And a couple of times when I told the officers to be careful, be safe, and have a night, that was about what I would say to them.
All right. Let me give you a specific example. April 22nd of 2023, it is what the police report states is that they came to your home and they could hear you yelling. But when they walked up to your porch, you turned around, ran into your home, turned off the lights, and closed your blinds, and then you wouldn't open the door. Do you have any recollection of that?
No, sir.
All right. Are you suggesting that that was an untruthful report?
Yes, sir. The only truth, I might have closed my blinds and I seen some lights flashing in or something. He said it was April. And then did it say what time, sir?
Yes, I can tell you that it was April 22nd at 9:54 p.m.
So that was probably dark outside. So yes, sir. If I had they were flashing lights. That's what police do usually if they come and want to see your house. So if I seen some lights flashing in, I probably closed the blinds.
All right. August 6th, the police again issued a report that you had been on a different neighbor's porch during the night. Do you remember talking to the police at all about that?
No, sir.
Okay. July 27th, the police report indicates they were called by Ms. Wood and they attempted to make contact with you and you didn't answer the door. And they could hear you inside the residence. and that you didn't talk to them. Do you remember anything about that at all?
No, sir. I might have been on the phone having a conversation. If someone can hear me in my house, that's not a violation rule that I'm at my own home. So they could have heard me. I can't say that they didn't. If you hear me in my house, be music
September
playing.
14th, the police report indicates they were called by Ms. Wood, and this time they spoke with you. Do you remember speaking with the police that day?
No, sir. Not unless I
Do you remember telling the police that you were in fact being very loud, but you couldn't help that because you had been shot and stabbed 38 times?
No, sir. I don't recall telling any officer my business. I don't talk to police.
So you don't remember talking to the police and telling them?
No, sir.
Okay. September 17th, 3 days later in the afternoon, there's a police report and a suggestion that when they approached your home, you closed all your exterior doors and locked them, and that you were unwilling to speak with the officers. Do you remember interacting with the officers on the 17th of September?
No, sir. I do not. I did not talk to the police that day. If I was closing my doors, I was walking in my house. That's what you do when you walk in your house.
September 24th, there's a police report that suggests that you called the police and told the police on the phone that people were trying to kill you. And then when they came to your door, you wouldn't answer. Do you remember anything about that?
I remember calling the police when Mary scratched me up because the park manager had heard that she had put her hands on me because I was having a good time. She ran out of her house and tried to scratch me up for some reason. I was just hanging with some friends. And so I ran in the house. A week later, I seen Miss Shannon. She's awesome.
Was that perhaps on October 4th?
No, wait.
There's a police report from October 4th that says that you called and told the police that you were assaulted by an unknown female. Now, you knew who Ms. Wood was.
May I answer? After Miss Wood put her hands on me and I seen Miss Shannon a week later, she said if she does that again, call the police. So when her friend, some male that she knows, pulled up and ran and fought me, that was the day that I did call the police. Came, he was gone. I didn't go out there. But she told me if they put their hands on me again to call the police. So yeah, that day when they assaulted me.
Well, let me tell you what the report says, and you can tell me if it's accurate. On October 4th, you advised the police you were assaulted by an unknown female, not a male, a female. And the officers claimed to have come to your home and that you were visibly intoxicated. You were unable to articulate why you called the police, and you refused to exit your porch to speak with the officers. Is that report inaccurate in any way?
No, sir.
Okay, that what the police claimed there was all correct.
Unless they said I was intoxicated, that's just hearsay. That's their opinion. They don't know that for sure. Unless
that's based on their observations, yes.
That's an opinion.
Your Honor, I don't know if it's possible for you to, of course, I don't know if it's possible for you to hold the photo up to your screen.
That's not me, it's Officer Brooks.
Here comes the one picture that they show.
Towards the Polycom. Mr. A little higher, Mr. Shiverton, I'm not sure if you can see this picture. Give me 1 second. Back towards me a little, Ken.
That's him with the knife.
Up a little bit. Mr. Shiverton, okay.
Mr. Shiverton, do you see that photograph?
No, it's a good picture.
Can you see it?
That's a good picture.
Okay. That photograph has been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 2. And my question for you is that you?
Yes, it looks like.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken.
Mr. Shiverton, have you ever made any written complaints to the office, to the manager or general manager at Maple Leaf Gardens South about Ms. Wood?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever made any police reports about Ms. Kinnicky?
No, sir.
Okay. How about Ms. Kinnicky's daughter? Have you made any reports about her?
No, sir. I don't know.
Ms. Wood testified, and Ms. Kinnicky testified, I guess Ms. Kinnicky testified that you called her and Ms. Wood bitches. Is that correct?
No, sir.
You never called them bitches.
No, sir. Like she said on the top.
And did you ever say that you were going to butcher either or both of them?
Of course not. No.
All right. Your Honor, I have no further questions of Mr. Shiverton.
Thank you. Mr. Shiverton, is there anything else you'd like to say at this time?
No, ma'am. No, yeah.
Thank you. Any closing?
Briefly, Your Honor, I appreciate your entertaining us this afternoon. Police is very clear. Rules and regulations are very clear. Ms. Conway read into the record, I think, what are the applicable rules and regulations. Mr. Shiverton is required under the rules and regulations to conduct himself in a fashion that ensures the quiet enjoyment of others. He's not supposed to engage in any kind of noise or unruly behavior that interferes with the peaceful enjoyment of others. He's not supposed to have any kind of weapons that he's brandishing. Mr. Shiverton, a picture here speaks 1,000 words. Mr. Shiverton admits that the photo is of him with a knife, and you've heard the circumstances from the testimony of the witnesses regarding.
Say that's me with the knife.
Regarding the fact that it was a butcher knife and the language that he utilized at that time. Mr. Shiverton has been a frequent subject of police visits. Sometimes when he has requested them, he has, according to the police, and he didn't necessarily deny it, there were occasions where the police were called and then he wouldn't speak with them. And so if the police can't complete their investigation, it's hard for Mr. Shiverton to be charged with a crime. And I think that's his escape route, that he thinks he can engage in the conduct that he has engaged in and that was testified to thoroughly by Ms. Wood and by Ms. Kinnicky, and that he's not going to get into any kind of trouble because the police can't complete any kind of investigation. He's not going to get charged. And as long as he's not convicted, then he can't be evicted. And convicted and evicted both end with victed, but there's two separate meanings and there's two separate standards. And Your Honor is well aware of the standard for a civil act. That is not beyond a reasonable doubt, which would be a criminal charge. It's way observed. The photo and has observed the complaint that was made by Ms. Wood to the office detailing multiple occasions of adverse interactions where he has been unduly noisy, where Mr. Shiverton has been threatening, has threatened to butcher her, has called her a bitch on numerous occasions. The question is he just a bad neighbor or has he violated the rules and regulations? And he's been far more than simply a bad neighbor. When the police are coming often, when he is engaging in yelling and screaming, intoxicated or not, he's having more than just a bad day. When you bring in additional people, in this case, Ms. Kinnicky and her daughter, it transcends simply being a bad neighbor. He has violated the rules and regulations of the community, and therefore, by the weight of the evidence, we believe we have met our burden and presented a case that is sufficient to justify the entry of a possession judgment that would require Mr. Shiverton to vacate within 10 days or by the end of the day on January 8th. He would by law have 90 days to move or sell his home. And for that, he could talk to Ms. Conway, maybe that the property is interested in purchasing his home, but he would have that right to move the home or sell it to a different owner. They would just need to qualify for residency in the community. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are you actively smoking in court, Mr. Shiverton?
But I'm done. I won't. Sorry.
That's okay. Your closing argument, Mr. Shiverton.
Your Honor, I just want to ask, I know it's hard to hear me. I want to apologize to the court for even being in this situation. I love my home, and I'm sorry that I'm in this situation. If it matters at all, sorry, Miss Mary Wood. If her happen to be here, for the owners to have to be here, just when considering what happens in this situation, that I'm given all the rights that are by law for me, just find another home and sell my trailer, and I'm not to anybody. I never will be. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. The court, having had the opportunity to hear the testimony of Ms. Conway, Ms. Wood, Ms. Kanicki, and Mr. Shiverton, and view the evidence submitted by Mr. Lamon and take note of the police report cited by Mr. Lamon, the plaintiff's request to recover possession of the property will be granted. Mr. Lamon will file the appropriate judgment given the fact that this is a mobile home community. And Mr. Lamon, you can either submit that downstairs or you have your office submitted by on base, my file.
Your Honor, I noticed as we were in a break this afternoon that the form that my office had drafted is the wrong form. It is the conventional judgment form. It is not the manufactured home community form that gives Mr. Shiverton 90 days to move or sell the home. So when I return to my office this afternoon, we will get the paperwork properly drafted, and we will submit that using e-filing. As reluctantly as I say it.
Thank you.
It's still a work in progress for our office, but maybe for the court as well.
The court as well, sir. Mr. Shiverton, Mr. Lamon's office will submit that judgment that indicates 10 days for you to physically vacate, 90 days for you to sell, move, or transfer the subject home. A copy will be mailed to you once Mr. Lamon's office presents it and this court signs it. That concludes this matter. Mr. Shiverton, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good rest of the day.
You too. Happy New Year, sir. This is 2302887 LT.
Whew. Good idea. Tell that clerk. That clerk should have muted it. You're right. You're right. That clerk, maybe she couldn't hear it like we could hear it in the courtroom. I don't know. But he said when he moved around, it didn't get any better. So I don't think it was wind. He changed his position and it sounded like wind. But I don't think that's actually what it was. He put it down and he walked away and it was still doing it. So it's not like he was rubbing something up against it or bumping it, which is what I thought it was too. I don't know what it was. But now I don't know where he's going to go. Okay, the 6 kids that he has, I don't think they actually live with him. I know the lawyer was like, do you have them on the lease? Well, no, he doesn't have them on the lease because they don't live with him. He lives by himself. He said that a couple times. I think that every day he actually does behave as badly as his neighbor says that he does. I also think that she is not the easiest neighbor to live beside either. She tried to steal his cat because she felt he wasn't taking care of the cat. I mean, you can't steal someone's cat. But yeah, I don't know where he's gonna go. I hope he stays in Michigan. I'm sorry to all of you who live in Michigan, but I hope he stays in Michigan or moves next to Raven. Raven can handle him. Well, guys, I think I did enough damage today. Thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be good. Be good. Judges might be in. Yes, yes, Raven. He's coming to you. Judges won't be in till Monday, guys. So, I mean, I guess some do work on the weekends, but you might be stuck in jail until Monday if you do something stupid tonight. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, and if you live kind of near where I live, like Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, snow's coming. So, judges might not be able to get to work because of the snow, and then you're in jail for longer. And then don't go to Las Vegas because people are flying through the air attacking people in Las Vegas.